I'm sitting here with Chris from Megadeth. What's up with you?
Oh, not much. Just playing another festival here in Sweden and looking forward to it. So, yeah.
So what do you think about the gig tonight? What's your expectations?
My expectations are, I always come into it the same, no matter where I'm at. My focus before I play is always on, preparation and making sure that I'm as prepared as can be. Because when you get on stage, you never know what's going to happen. There are always so many variables that come at you, that you got to try and be prepared for those as possible. But what I would hope to see is that we have a crazy crowd that is just nonstop in your face, and that always helps me kind of give back the energy in return, because when I see people that are really pumped up, I tend to get that way myself. So,
do you have any special things that you want to do before a gig to get really prepared?
Just warm up. Yeah, that's it.
Like training or?
Well, I work out all the time, but that's not for a gig or anything like that. That's just the way I am.
You play with the band for a couple of years. How do you feel to come into a band that's been going on for so long?
I think it's quite an honor, especially knowing the past where they've had so many great guitarists, and it was always kind of an iconic guitarist band. So for me, it's always been a great honor to be able to try and step into those shoes.
Yeah. Is it hard to come in as a new member in a band?
I never viewed it that way, because all I knew was when I started working on the music that's what I had to do. I never questioned it one way or the other. I never even took a step back and realized what I was doing. I just said, oh, okay, I've got these 22 songs to get down in this amount of time, and I better get to work.
So when they picked you for the band, how did that work out? How did you get in contact with them?
It was pretty quick process, actually. It was when Glenn had decided to leave the band. Him and Sean got together and thought of people that would be a good fit, and it was a pretty short list from what I had heard. And so they presented my name to Dave, and Dave had seen some of my YouTube clips and stuff like that. Yeah. So his management called me, and they were like, "Yeah, would you be interested in possibly being the lead guitarist in Megadeth?" And I was like, Can I get back to you on that? No, I was like, yes, definitely. So it was pretty instantaneous. And then I went down and met with Dave, and we both talked about expectations and the way we are and stuff like that. And then it was just get to work.
As you're in the big four of trash, what's the thing with that? How did Megadeth come into that?
The funny thing is some of the early interviews, people would ask me, they'd be like, oh, but in reality, it's really just another festival. You're just playing with, Metallica, Slayer, and Anthrax, as well as, Megadeth, of course. And I was like, yeah, well, that's, pretty much kind of the way I see it, because no matter whether I'm playing a club show or I'm playing, a festival like today, I always try and go into it with the same mindset and the same preparation and stuff like that. But the cool thing is as the Big Four occurred and we met with the guys in Metallica and Slayer and Anthrax, and it kind of developed into this whole idea that it seemed like everybody was about trying to reinvent the whole genre of music. And like it was bigger than the tour could be. It was going to be something more than that. And I really like that. I like that idea where we're really trying to re-energize the style of music. So I hope to see it continue.
So what do you prefer? Like playing a festival or like smaller?
They both have their charm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you play a festival and you see a sea of people that goes as far back as you can make out, and you can see their hands in the air as far back as you can see, that's pretty overwhelming sometimes. But with a club, it's more intimate, and you can individualize people in the crowd, and it's kind of like they're your friends coming to hang out with you. So they both have their charm.
You're a pretty big band, so do you still do like the really small club gigs?
Yeah, I think so. Especially in smaller markets, when you go to smaller towns or smaller cities, you're not going to get the kind of fan base there that you would in a major city. So yeah.
So how do you feel about playing in Sweden? Have you been in Sweden before?
I love playing Sweden. I think Sweden has a really huge fan base for this kind of music and metal in general, and you know, really good friends with the guys in Flames, and you know, love Meshuggah. It's probably one of my favorite bands of all time. So I have a huge respect for Sweden and its musicians, and yeah, I love coming here.
So what are Swedish fans compared to other countries? Do you have really like crazy fans, or?
I would say a little bit above average, but they're kind of like what I would consider educated fans. You know, they know about all the different bands, and they do get a chance to experience a lot of bands come through Sweden.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, the people that usually are the most fanatical and the most outrageous are the ones that don't get to see it that often. You know, like when we went to Peru the first time 2 years ago, it was like the Beatles reborn. I was just like, what's going on? People are chasing us in cars and all kinds of things. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. But no matter what, you know, whether people get really fanatical about it or not, everybody enjoys their music in their own way. And, you know, there's no good, there's no bad. So I'm just glad they appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Sure.
I think it's going to be an awesome gig tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.